Hello, welcome to Motion Time. Today we're gonna make something like this in Apple Motion.
Walmart is the largest company in the world by revenue, making over $600 billion a year. And yet, Walmart's founder was born into poverty, growing up on a farm during the Great Depression.
For that, the most important thing we need to do, or we need, when creating an intro is the script. Once you have your script, then it's time to proceed to collect the necessary assets to be used. Here is my project settings. In this project, I have 3 scenes that I have prepared already. I have scene 1, contains the logo, some money, Walmart store, and a 3D Earth which is available on your library. Our second scene contains a farm, and the second scene, part 2, contains a picture of the Great Depression. Let's start. So I'm gonna turn on my scene 1, and I'm gonna hide the logo, money, and the earth. For now, I'm gonna work on my foreground, which is the Walmart store. I'm gonna scale it and adjust the X position around something like this. And then I'm gonna clone this layer. Then this clone layer, I'm gonna put it on the left side. And then I will add some flop filter. Okay, so they're like this. After that, I'm gonna animate the X position, both of them. I'm gonna adjust the keyframes or the handles of my animation. And then the next thing is my earth. I'm gonna adjust the scale around like this and adjust the Y position. Okay, like this. Okay, so I have my earth here. Next, let's animate our money. Let's reduce the scale around 40%. Then let's group this money. Command-Shift-G. Let's rename it as money source. Then let's reset the position in the transform properties. After that, let's clone this money source. Clone and turn off our money source. Now our clone layer, let's replicate this one. Then on our replicator, change the shape to line. Then set the start point and end point to 0. Increase the points up to 12 or depends on you. Then adjust the end point and start point. Let's adjust the offset. This replicator will animate from top to bottom. Go to your offset, add a rate parameter, and then go to the last frame and adjust the rate. So 7 is good for me because at 10% we will have this. Of course, you can adjust the points, but for now, I'm gonna set it to 7, and we will have something like this. Then this replicator and this clone group, I will put them in a group, so Command-Shift-N, put it inside. Then I will replicate this group 1, but before that, I'm gonna rename this as TB source. The next thing we need to do is we need to clone this TB source. Press K, then turn off TB source. Then this clone layer, we need to replicate this, so press L on your keyboard. Once you have the replicator, you won't see anything, right? You need to select 3D, then our money will be visible. Then adjust the image or our replicator. In this case, I want only 3 here, so I'm gonna change the point to 3, and then change the scale to maybe 35, then adjust again. Then after this, because we have a space in here, I'm gonna change the replicator position in the transform properties so that it will start here correctly at the bottom. So let's take a look. And then let's tweak a bit more. Okay, now we have this. Let's group this replicator and its clone layer. So Command-Shift-N. Let's put it in a group. Let's rename it as TB Final, TBF. Now let's turn off this TBF and turn on TB source. Let's duplicate this, Command-D, then change the name to BT source. And then on our replicator, let's turn off the rate for a while and then adjust the offset. We want this to start from the bottom to top. Don't forget to turn off your TB source so that we won't have this. Okay, and then turn on the rate and change the positive rate to negative rate. Then we will have this. Now that we have our BT source, let's go to our first frame and then clone this layer And then this clone layer, let's replicate it. Then same as earlier, let's select 3D, change the shape to line, and then change the points to 2. So we will have this. And then the scale, change that to 30. Okay, then let's adjust. Don't forget to turn up your source so that you won't be confused. Then adjust. Let's turn on our TBF so that we can know where we will place our BT source or BTF. Let's take a look what's our scale earlier. So 35. Let's do that for our BT source. Okay, we need to increase more, around 40 maybe. We need to adjust our replicator in the transform position. Now let's group our BT. So Command Shift N, replicator 2 and the clone layer inside that group. Let's rename it as BTF. Then let's make a new group. Command Shift N. Let's put all the TBF and TB source inside this group. So just rename it as TB. And then same with the BT group. The next thing we need to do is add a camera now. So add object, camera, switch to 3D. Now we want is our money, the TB and BT, to be behind of our Earth and our Walmart image. So to do that, let's group our TB group and BT group, Command Shift N, put it inside that group, and let's rename it as Money Final. Don't forget to turn it on. And then let's add another viewport. Okay, I'm currently at top, so this money group, let's adjust the Z. We need to adjust more because our Earth is not yet visible. So let's adjust. Okay guys, so you notice that I'm already at this Z space position, but our money or our Earth is still behind our money. So to fix that, let's reset this first. Then this money group, let's put it below our Earth, just like this. Okay, so I want to give you a tip. You notice that my Earth is already here right at the bottom. If we add a new Earth, so go to Library, 3D Objects, All, then Earth, let's apply. You will notice that my Earth now, my 3D layer, is on top of or in front of the money, right? So no matter how many times I adjust this or how far I want this, it will take around this position for it to be behind our money. So the easiest thing you need to do is just put it below your 2D layer or in front. Let's delete that one. Turn on our Earth and we have this. So this Earth, I want to animate this, the Y position, so that it enters almost at the same time with the Walmart buildings. Let's do that. Let's adjust the handles of our keyframe. Now we have this. Let's turn on our logo. So I want my logo to be positioned. Yeah, this one is quite okay already for me. Then let's add some text. Let's go to our first frame first. And then let's just select your own font that you like. And I'm gonna reset the position and put this text inside the group. Command Shift G. Okay, then reset the position of that group and my text. I want my text, this text, to be curved within the Earth. So I'm going to go to text, layout, and then layout method to path. Then change the path shape to circle. Then increase the radius. Adjust the position of the text and some path offset. Let's rename this to text. Then we can use the C space to put this behind, but quite not ideal. So what we need to do is just put the text layer below our Walmart building and just above the Earth 3D layer. Then let's adjust the scale. Then let's increase the font size. Okay, I'm satisfied with this. Later, using the camera, we can adjust the view of our text. Next thing is let's animate this text. So I want it to appear per word. So go to behaviors, text animation, or text basic, then words in, then trim it around 1 second. Then because I've changed my mind, let's adjust the position of our logo. Let's put it here on top, around here. Then let's animate our camera now. So select your camera. Then here on the camera, I'm gonna change the angle of view from 45. So this one is 45 mm. I'm gonna change it to 35 mm. Then here on depth of field, I'm gonna adjust the blur amount. Currently, you cannot see any change in here, but go to render and depth of field, yeah, turn that on. Then you will see some difference later. Then here on the properties, let's animate the Z position and Y around maybe 1 second. Let's add the keyframe. After that, adjust the handles. Then here on the end part, let's adjust the final position, something like this, because I want to cover up this part of the building with this part. So I'm gonna adjust this a bit like this. So let's change the initial. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Maybe around this part. It seems like the logo position is not that good, so let's reset it to 0. Then let's animate again our camera. Okay, let's change the initial position of our camera. Maybe, yeah, this one at the bottom part. Okay, so this one looks much better now. And then from here, let's fade out this logo just like this. And then our text, let's adjust our text so that it enters after the logo disappears. After that, let's put the text and earth in a new group, Command Shift N. Then let's rename this as text E, TE or TE. Then adjust the Y position so that we can see the text just like this. And also, I'm gonna adjust the text so that it will appear after the logo fades out around here. And then I might, let's see, increase the scale of the earth and adjust the Y position again, the animated one, around here. I'm gonna adjust also the start of this one together with the money. I will just adjust them for a few frames. Okay, so I think this one is quite much better than previous. Okay, so I think our scene 1 is already finished. Then after this one, or no, not yet finished. Let's go to our camera and then adjust the near focus. So if that doesn't work, like there's no change, right? Because this one we want to separate the background to the foreground and only the center or the subject is in focus. Okay, let's reset this one. In this case, let's adjust our Walmart group. Let's create a group for them. Let's rename it as Walmart and adjust the Z space. Then go to camera and then adjust this near focus. Okay, so that we have the separation between the background, foreground, and our subject, which is the earth and the text. So that's our scene 1. Let's lock this. Then on our scene 2. So this is our scene 2. Go to my properties, of course. Then I'm gonna put this on the right corner to this one. Let's maybe around 3536. And then once I put that here on my camera, of course I'm gonna select up to which part I will animate it again. Around here at 4 seconds. I'm gonna keyframe the X position so that it will move here on the right side. So around maybe 20 frames, I will have this so that it aligns on the center, just like this. And then after that, I'm gonna adjust the position of each layer so that we can have that separation again between the foreground, subject, and background. Let's go to our top. Then let's select each one. So maybe this one around here. And then adjust the Y position. So this one, it depends on you. If you want to adjust here on the active camera or here on the preview, I'm gonna use the other viewport, the top. So in this one, we need to continuously adjust our layers. Change the perspective. So currently we have this. Okay, you can see the separation between the layers. Then let's add some text in here. I'm gonna put it in a group, reset the position, then go to first frame so that our text starts at the correct one. Then adjust the Z position of our text. Next thing we need to do is animate this text. We want this text to appear per word. So go to behaviors, text basic, and paid words in. So same one from earlier, around 1 second. Let's trim that there. Of course, if you go here at port 19, the text is already appeared. So we need to adjust our text. Let's look at our keyframe like this. Then let's add some position for this one. Then change some settings here. Let's change it to once per loop. Let's take a look at here. Maybe per object. Okay, per object, then a little bit below. It's too much, so adjust again. Maybe around here. Maybe let's adjust the Z position around here. Yeah, this one. Then adjust the scale or the size of the text. Then adjust again. So we need to tweak continuously and change back and forth from the active and the other perspective camera. Okay, now our scene 2 is already finished. Then let's animate our camera now. Let's animate it again. So go to camera. Then let's add some sweep on here. So go to behaviors, camera, and sweep. Then starting from here, port 20 at the end, let's set the in position of our sweep. Then change the end position to 1. Then Y is okay. So we will have this. Let's see. Let's trim this sweep camera around here. Let's take a look. Okay, then let's duplicate that one. Then change the axis to tilt X. Then let's duplicate again. Let's add roll Z. Then let's add some focus offset. So add parameter regal. Let's start the regal, start from here and end to here. Okay. Then reduce the amount and frequency, also noise. If you don't see any change, just increase this one. Let's look at our camera. There's some change. Okay, let's go back to our regal. Just change some settings. I think it's quite okay. Then Let's lock this scene 2. Then let's proceed to scene 2 part 2. So we have this, right? Adjust the Z position of our background. Go to our other viewport, then increase the scale, and then our subject, just leave it like that. Then this group should be similar to the position of our part 1. So 3600. Let's make it 3600. Okay, so it will be like this. Let's adjust a bit the position. Now, let's put this Z, or let's change the Z position of this one to much closer to the camera. Just like this one. So that when we turn on the Z, or this scene 2 part 1, we will have this. Okay, let's go to the end of our scene 2. Okay, from here, let's add the camera. Let's animate the Z position, then 20 frames. Then it should go back just like this. Now let's animate the Z. Okay, let's take a look here on the active camera. Let's select the active camera viewport. Okay, we have this. Then, this scene 2, part 2, let's add some movement to our subject. So put them in a group, Command-Shift-N, then let's rename it as subject. Of course, let's trim this one. Let's start our layer from here. So let's trim our subject like this one. Okay. Then let's add some clouds. Add object generators clouds. Of course, set the playhead to the start of the layer. Then here on the clouds, let's turn up the first, second, and third layer strength. Then increase the horizontal scale. So around maybe like this. Then here on our subject, let's add a bump map filter. So go to filters, distortion, and bump map. So repeat edges. Change the controls to horizontal, vertical. Drag the clouds here. Set the vertical scale to 0. Then turn off our clouds. Then let's take a look. So as you can see, we have some movement on our image. It's like this. Really simple yet interesting. Now, from here, let's add another sweep. So behaviors, camera, sweep. The sweep should start from the end of our animation. So let's go to the end. So 30 degrees is too much. Let's around maybe 2. Okay, 2. Then change the speed to ease both. Let's do that to other sweep earlier. Let's change it to sweep both. Let's duplicate this sweep 1. Change the Y to tilt X. Maybe we can increase this more around here, or change the value. Then let's change the axis to Z. So let's take a look. Okay. Then here on the position, let's add some wriggle effect here. So it will start here. Then add and subtract around this one. So it's too much. Just adjust the frequency and noisiness. Let's do that here on our second scene. Let's add another wriggle here. Add parameter behavior wriggle. Then trim again. Then change the position, change the amount and the frequency and noisiness. So it seems our scene 3's subject and background already finished. Let's add some text. Add some text in here. So as you can see, the Z position of our text is at this. So let's reset this one. Then go to our viewport or top viewport. Then adjust the position of this one. Let's change the viewport from top to perspective. Let's use this one, this icon. We can see our image or our text. Let's rotate a bit. So it's at the back, so which we don't like. We want this to be in the middle here. So let's adjust just like this. Then let's adjust our subjects. Z position. Okay, then adjust the layer order of our text just like this. Let's adjust the Y position. Then let's animate again this text. Same as earlier. Paid words in. Add the position around 100. Don't forget to trim. Or this one is quite already nice. So let's leave at this. Let's take a look on the active camera. Okay, too slow. Let's change it to 30 frames around here. Then let's take a look again. It's too slow again. Maybe 20. Okay, then change to per object. Okay, per object is okay. Let's move it a bit here. I want the text to appear just before around here. A bit more. Okay. Let's change again around maybe once per loop. Now let's go back to our scene 1 and turn it on. So let's take a look. Press play. Okay. So we have this thing right now, right? We need to adjust, or let's put our scene 2 part 1 and part 2 in a group. Command Shift N. Then let's adjust the position of them around here. And then we need to adjust our animation in the camera from here to here. So adjust again. So let's trim also our scene 1, because as you can see, our scene 1 is up to here. So let's just trim it around here. So scene 2, just leave it there because no problem. It's on the right side. Okay, the next thing we need to do is just the tip of the icing, or the icing for this one. We need to add some color. I'm gonna apply some gradient on my building, earth, and money. So let's start with money. I'm gonna filters, color, and gradient colorize. Okay. I'm gonna put this color. Okay, then once I'm done with this, I'm just gonna duplicate this to my earth. So just option drag, and also to the Walmart group. Okay. Next, I'm gonna change the color of my text to something like this so that it represents the color of money. Then I'm gonna apply the same gradient colorize to my image here on scene 2. So scene 2 part 1, I'm gonna group those layers inside a new group and then drag the gradient colorize there. Of course, I'm gonna adjust the filter just like this. Then change the color of the text to the color of Walmart like this. So I have this one. Then adjust also add also a gradient colorize to my subject and background here on the scene 2 part 2. Then I'm gonna go back to scene 1 and add some blur or glow to my text. So select my text, filter, glow, and glow. So this glow is not that enough, right? So let's delete that one. Let's clone this text, clone, and then put it below our main layer. Then go to filters, blur, and Gaussian blur. Then increase the blur amount, just like this. So let's do the same to our other text. So here on scene 2, next, let's do some small tweaking. So here on my text, I want this to be on top of the earth. So in this case, like you see, once we move to our next scene, we have this blank space, right? So let's go to scene 2. Then look for this layer, foreground. Let's turn this up. Okay, this one. Let's clone this one. Then put on the right like this. And then let's mask this side only. So option B. Okay. Then it looks good now. So we have solved that simple issue. So we just need to adjust it a bit more because we have this space. Okay, we also need to do for this side also. So which one is that? This one. Let's clone, then mask or move first, and then let's mask that area, option B. That's quite nice now. Another way to solve this issue is we need to put a tree foreground here that will cover the building and will be a part of our farm. So I forgot to create that one. In your project, you can do the same. In your project, you can do something similar, or there's some errors that we need to adjust. So this side, what we can do is just duplicate one of our text. So here on the money, so let's clone this BT source. Okay, clone that one, then move it to the right side so that it can cover this side, then change the scale to 40. Okay, of course it will be small, but we need to adjust a bit. You see that our issue earlier, the blank area here is now covered. Okay, let's take a look again. Okay, let's turn up this perspective. So select this one, select this. Okay, we have now one active camera, but the issue is this one, right? Okay, so let's go to our camera, then last animation. So this is the last one. Let's add some keyframe here. So from the pulling back, so this, let's add an X position, then adjust the X position. Adjust the X position and then go to scene 2, part 2, and adjust the scale just like this. Let's adjust also the subject a bit. So we have no space here. So let's continuously adjust our camera. And also we need to adjust the other one. So for this part, it depends on you. Like if you will use the wriggle effect or the sweep motion to do some movement. So I'm just showing you the possible way. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, here on scene 2, you will notice that we have this issue. So to solve this one, just adjust the specific layer. Maybe not this one. Okay, this one. Let's adjust the X position, or the Y position, I mean. And this area, just put it down like this. So that's how to animate using one camera. Now, let's turn off this camera. Let's rename this one first, camera 1, and turn it off. Now, we're gonna use multiple cameras. So add object, camera again. Then, go to behaviors, camera, and dolly. Let's set the dolly same with the earlier, the animation. So from here, so is both. So let's set our initial position of our camera to like this. Okay, from here. Okay, so once we have this, remember this one, -4530, -4530. Let's turn on our dolly, go to the end, and change the distance to -4530. Okay, so we will have this, right? But we forgot something. Go to our camera, change the angle of view to 35 mm. Let's add some keyframe for our Y. Let's turn off our dolly again and adjust this one. It should be like this. Turn on. Okay, so the reason why we need to adjust the position again, because when we have changed the camera angle of view, it shifted the look of our camera itself. So from here on our dolly, let's adjust our distance again. Here, like this. Okay, let's go back to the first frame. Okay, then here on the camera, let's add some Y position. So the Y position should end around. So from here, the initial one is this one. Okay. Then let's turn on depth of field blur amount. And then the focus offset, just leave it like that. After that, let's background money to be much bigger than that. So let's go to our scene 1 and then money final. This one, then increase the Z rotation or Z position. So it should look like this. Okay, we can tweak it more. Then let's add some wriggle up effect here on the position. So add parameter on the position, then wriggle. So let's start the wriggle after the animation or the dolly. Then add and subtract. Then adjust the frequency and noisiness. So it will look like this. Then let's trim that here at 40 at 4 seconds. Adjust the noises and frequency. Okay. Let's add a new camera so that it will go to our scene 2 part 1 add object camera. Then this camera, it will start here at 4 seconds. Let's trim it. Then our camera 2, let's trim it same length with the wriggle. Then don't forget, once you have another multiple camera, it should have the same settings. So 35, 35, okay. Then depth of field is 100, okay. Then on this camera, let's add another behavior. So go to behaviors, camera, and framing. Then on this target, we select scene 2, part 1, the group. Then let's trim it up to the animation earlier. From here, we will have this. Next thing you need to do is here on the framing offset, adjust the Z position and Y position. Okay, so you will have this. And using the framing behavior, what you need to look out for is the framing offset because it will determine the final position of your camera. Then after that, this camera, let's add some sweep similar to earlier. Camera sweep. So 1, then speed 2 is both. Okay, let's start to Z. Then it should start the sweep from here for 21. And then it will end up to this one here at 7:01 or 7 seconds. Let's duplicate that sweep. Change the roll to swivel Y. And then duplicate again. Change that to tilt X. Let's add some wriggle here on our position. So add parameter behavior, wriggle. Then trim that again. Then change the amount and apply mode. So for the apply mode, just pick anything you like. For me, I usually use add and subtract and just adjust the frequency and noisiness. Okay, let's trim our camera from here. Then let's add a new camera. So 7:01. So let's add a frame behavior again or framing. Then target, as you know, scene 2 part 2. Then it will end up to this one at 7:21. Same from earlier, adjust the framing offset. Then same as before, go to behaviors, go to properties, then add some wriggle effect. Trim that after the framing behavior and change some settings. Then add some sweep again. Okay, you can change some settings in here. The focus offset. So let's add some randomize for a change. Add a subtract. Same with the other camera for the scene 3. Okay, let's not forget our first camera for scene 1. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so that's how to animate using multiple cameras with different scene. So I hope you have learned something here on my tutorial and you enjoy some of the techniques I have used here. When doing a Magnets video, remember that you need to have a script and your assets should be in high quality so that the result will be much better. Additionally, you need to continuously adjust the layers position eventually when dealing with 3D space. So thank you and see you again next time.